Have you ever pictured a pickup truck that dwarfs a school bus, packing a massive engine and enough torque to haul a whole house? These beasts are real, and you likely never knew they existed. So why aren't these titans a common sight on our streets? And what tasks can they conquer that a standard truck wouldn't dare attempt? Get ready for an epic tour through the realm of the most colossal pickups ever conceived. Some were designed for extreme heavy-duty labor, others as the ultimate status symbol, representing American excess at its absolute peak. Make sure you stay with us to the very end, because the truck claiming the top position is so outrageously huge, it's been forbidden in several cities just because it won't fit into a regular parking spot. Chevrolet C30 Crew Cab Long Bed. Chevrolet launched the C30 Crew Cab Long Bed in 1973, establishing it as a pioneer among genuine full-size pickups. It proudly featured a proper crew cab, seating up to 6 adults, alongside a cargo bed that seemed to stretch into the distance. This debut perfectly timed with the rapid expansion of U.S. highways and a surge in agricultural activity. Farmers across America were clamoring for a truck that could function both as a reliable workhorse and a family transporter. This machine was the solution, with its long bed variant spanning well over 20 feet. Powering this giant was the celebrated 350 cubic inch V8, the famous engine which put out about horsepower and more than lb-ft of torque. Back then, that was serious power, easily capable of pulling boats, tractors, and heavy trailers. It commanded attention with its wide front grille, clean lines, and a massive presence that even caught the eye of big rigs. Offered in rear-wheel or four-wheel drive, it was constructed with a reinforced suspension to manage substantial weight. That endless bed allowed it to carry over a ton with surprising poise. The truck quickly became a fixture on U.S. ranches, and today, enthusiasts lovingly restore these titans as preserved pieces of automotive history. A pristine example even recently appeared in a historic TV series, complete with a country score and plenty of backroad mud. If this classic powerhouse already excites you, prepare yourself, the next entry is pure military-grade brute force on wheels. Hummer H1 Alpha. This machine instantly achieved legendary status. The Hummer H1 Alpha, which debuted in 2006, represented the fiercest civilian iteration of the Army's iconic Humvee. Though intended for the U.S. military, don't let its street-legal status mislead you. The H1 Alpha retained virtually all of its original combat heritage, including its enormous scale. Measuring beyond 7 feet wide and almost 16 feet long, the H1 Alpha presented itself more like an armored vehicle than a road truck. A single glance was enough to confirm this was no ordinary pickup. It was powered by a turbo diesel V8, delivering horsepower and a fierce of torque. This was the strength needed to scale steep terrain, cross water bodies, and endure incredibly hostile environments. Key features included full-time four-wheel drive, four-wheel independent suspension, a high-set exhaust, run-flat tires, and an engine note described as metal grinding metal. This was more than a large truck, it completely overpowered the environment around it. A handful even reached as far as Brazil, and it remains a highly coveted item for collectors today. Reportedly, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the very first private citizen to purchase one directly from AM General, and he is said to still own his fully camouflage-painted example. If that level of intensity seems wild, wait just a moment. The next truck presents a smooth, contemporary look, but is equally immense. Toyota Tundra CrewMax. The 2022 Toyota Tundra CrewMax represents Japan's formidable entry into the market dominated by American full-size trucks. Though built right here in the United States, it launched with a complete overhaul, fresh styling, an incredibly spacious cabin, and substantial mechanical improvements. At nearly 20 feet long and exceeding feet wide, the CrewMax model undeniably owns the road. Inside, the experience rivals a luxury SUV, featuring plush, wide seating, high-end materials, and a fully digital instrument panel. Toyota moved away from the conventional V8, opting instead for a twin-turbo 6. This engine produces an impressive horsepower and of torque, routed through a 10-speed automatic transmission that ensures smooth operation even when hauling demanding trailers. Upper trim levels include four-wheel drive, a robust solid rear axle, and a coil spring rear suspension setup, which enhances ride comfort without compromising its rugged capability. It's a top pick for those towing RVs, pulling boats, or regularly moving serious cargo. Despite its sheer scale, the Tundra has cemented a reputation for unshakable reliability. A fascinating detail, the very first Tundra produced in the US was pressed into service at the factory and logged over miles without the engine ever needing internal service. The Tundra is huge, but get ready. We're about to see Nissan's contender in this heavyweight clash. Nissan Titan XD. The Nissan Titan XD is the result of Nissan directly challenging the largest American pickups. Its most recent iteration, launched in 2020, was engineered specifically for the US consumer, where capability and sheer size are crucial. Stretching beyond 20 feet and sporting a blunt, squared-off look, the Titan XD absolutely earns its formidable name. It boasts a towering front end, flared wide fenders, and a hood that appears borrowed from a commercial box truck. Lurking beneath that massive hood is a gasoline V8, generating approximately horsepower and of torque power that easily rivals the top trucks from Detroit. You can choose between rear or four-wheel drive, both mated to a swift-speed automatic transmission. It features an independent front suspension combined with a robust, reinforced solid rear axle, ensuring predictable handling whether on the highway or hitting the trails. The interior of the Titan XD is equally impressive, offering generously sized seats, high-quality finishes, and an expansive infotainment display. The front cabin feels more like a luxury SUV. However, don't mistake that comfort for weakness, this truck is a serious work tool. It can effortlessly carry over pounds in the bed and manage up to pounds when towing. That XD badge means extra duty, a clear signal that Nissan intended to exceed the half-ton segment and take on heavy-duty American legends. And speaking of legendary trucks, the next one is a veritable wall of American steel rolling down the road. Ram 3500 Heavy Duty. When discussing raw power on the road, the Ram 3500 Heavy Duty doesn't just arrive, it makes a loud statement. Measuring over 21 feet long and standing almost 7 feet tall, the Ram 3500 resembles a commercial semi-truck shrunk into a pickup form. Inside, however, it's all about opulence. You find ventilated leather seating, a digital dashboard, and a premium audio system. The powerhouse under the hood is the top-tier Cummins inline-6 turbo diesel. This monster delivers a huge horsepower and an astonishing of torque. That's right, over 1,000. With this immense twisting force, and the correct towing configuration, this truck can tow more than pounds. It's offered in or drivetrains, coupled with a choice of a 6 or 8-speed automatic transmission. For the rear suspension, you can select standard heavy-duty leaf springs or the smoother, optional air ride system on higher trims. This vehicle is a go-to choice for contractors, ranchers, and anyone hauling large RVs throughout the United States. In places like Texas, you'll frequently spot them effortlessly pulling luxurious, multi-horse trailers worth a fortune. Are you still enjoying this tour of massive pickups? If so, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, because we have even more colossal machines yet to come. Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD. The 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD is best described as an impenetrable wall of metal on tires. This is one of the most formidable trucks Chevy has ever unleashed on public roads. This model merges a distinctly aggressive appearance with truly colossal dimensions. You're looking at a vehicle that stretches over feet long, stands nearly feet tall, and is so wide it dominates a country lane. Its cargo bed is huge, and the crew cab provides ample space and legroom for even the tallest adults. Driving this monster is a Duramax turbo diesel V8, which pounds out horsepower and a brutal of torque. This level of power is more than sufficient to haul enormous trailers, large machinery, or the equipment for a small building project. Its system, paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission, surprisingly maintains a smooth ride quality, even when carrying its maximum capacity. The suspension is meticulously engineered for handling extreme weight yet manages to deliver respectable comfort for the person behind the wheel. Visually, the Silverado 3500 HD demands attention. It features bright LED headlights, an enormous grille, heavy-duty alloy wheels, and a hood that wouldn't look out of place on a massive earth mover. This truck is incredibly popular in regions like Wyoming, where ranchers and construction crews demand ultra-durable, dependable vehicles to conquer challenging landscapes and unpredictable climates. To illustrate its fan base, there's an annual U.S. gathering for Silverado owners where many attendees arrive towing trailers exceeding feet in length. Think that's massive? Hold on. The next vehicle is a GMC icon that completely redefines high-end, heavy-duty luxury. GMC Sierra 3500 HD Denali. The GMC Sierra 3500 HD Denali is the ultimate fusion of power and refinement in a full-size pickup. Also released in 2023, it shares its platform with the Silverado, but adds a serious dose of premium design and interior luxury. Overlong with sharp design lines and bold chrome accents, the Denali looks as tough as it is elegant. It has a huge signature front grille, LED lighting, and a presence that turns heads even in a lineup of lifted trucks. Under the hood, that same Duramax V8 turbo diesel pushing and of torque. But what sets the Denali apart is the smart towing tech with load sensing systems that adapt engine output and braking to what you're hauling. It comes standard with, and the suspension includes high-grade components for a smoother ride even on rough roads. Inside, it's more luxury SUV than work truck, ventilated and heated leather seats, customizable digital cluster, real wood trim, and acoustic insulation that makes you forget you're driving a one-ton monster. The Denali has become a favorite among business owners, ranch CEOs, and country music stars. One was even customized with air suspension and chrome wheels by a famous Texas rapper, and used as the tour vehicle. Think that's over the top? Take a deep breath, because what's coming next is a legend in the world of super-sized pickups. Ford F-450 Super Duty. This isn't just a truck, it's a freight train with plates. The 2023 Ford F-450 Super Duty is one of the most overbuilt pickups ever offered to the public. At nearly and more than with mirrors extended, this truck is built to haul, carry, and dominate whatever gets in its way. Power comes from the monstrous Power Stroke V8 turbo diesel, putting down an earth-shaking of torque. That's enough to tow over the kind of force you'd expect from a commercial-grade rig. It features dual rear wheels, dually, full-time, and a reinforced suspension system with heavy-duty rear leaf springs. The 10-speed automatic transmission is tuned for max torque management. Inside, especially in the platinum trim, the F-450 feels like a high-end SUV, premium leather seats with heat and cooling, an oversized touchscreen, luxury trim, and more tech than most new cars. This truck is so massive that in some US states, you'll need a special driver's license to operate it when hauling commercial trailers. Starting to feel like these trucks are out of control? Well, hang on tight. The next two aren't just trucks. They're off-the-chart titans. International CXT. We've reached the top of the list with what can only be described as an automotive anomaly in the best possible way. The International CXT, released in 2004 by Navistar International, holds the title as the largest pickup truck ever built for civilian use. When we say largest, we mean it. At nearly 30 feet long, 11.5 feet tall, and weighing over 15,000 lb, the CXT isn't just a pickup. It's a commercial truck with a bed. It's built on the same chassis as the International 7300 series, which is used for construction rigs, fire trucks, and even military applications. The engine, a inline-six turbo diesel, producing an impressive of torque. Now, that might sound low in horsepower, but this engine is tuned for pure torque. Ideal for pulling yachts, loaded trailers, or even mobile homes. It has a 5-speed automatic transmission, full-time, and a suspension system tough enough for the harshest terrains. And fuel economy, let's just say if you're buying one of these, fuel is probably the least of your worries. Visually, the CXT is unmatched. The front bumper looks like a wall. The wheels are as tall as the average person, and the cab, it's basically a private bus. Inside you get full leather seating, a premium sound system, wood trim, a sunroof, and yes, even a fridge. Originally built for ranchers, wealthy collectors, and even special ops law enforcement, the CXT became an icon of excess. Legend has it one was bought by a Middle Eastern prince, painted in liquid gold, and used to drive across the desert between his palaces. And yes, the CXT is so big it's banned in several cities simply because it doesn't fit standard traffic lanes or parking spots. These aren't just trucks. They're steel giants built with diesel, torque, and a whole lot of American muscle. They were born for different jobs, some to work the land, others to dominate the road in style. But a unifying trait is their sheer presence. They never go unnoticed in size or in story. So tell me, which one of these trucks would you park in your garage if size wasn't an issue? Would you go for the brute Kodiak, the refined Sierra Denali, or would you go all in with the international CXT just to see people panic in your rear view mirror? Drop your favorite down in the comments and tell us which one you'd never even heard of until now. And hey, if you love content like this, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, because every week we bring you the most incredible machines ever built. From snow-covered mountains to the most unforgiving deserts. See you in the next video.